Hello everyone and welcome back to another review on the channel. Today I will be reviewing Ford vs. Ferrari, which is directed by James Mangold, starring Christian Bale and Matt Damon. In this movie, I have been very, very excited for. As you can see, I have the poster for Logan up because James Mangold directed that movie and I thought he did a fantastic job. It was my favorite movie that came out that year. I loved Logan. He's a great director, and I saw the trailer for this movie and it looked really fun, looked really exciting, and let me tell you guys, this movie lived up to my expectations, and it just was a very fun, exciting, and just thrilling ride from beginning to end. Now, I will say this, I went to the movie with a couple of friends, and a few of them absolutely hated this movie because I don't think they knew what they were getting into. This is definitely, like, the movie's called Ford versus Ferrari, but that's not really what it's about. This is truly a character story about Matt Damon and about Christian Bale's characters, and I thought they did a fantastic job. The performances in that is awesome. So essentially, who these people are is Christian Bale plays this race car driver who's very hot-headed. You know, he's very hard to work with. You know, he's very much, you know, a loose cannon. You know, you never know what he's going to do. You think he's going to do one thing, but he does the opposite, and he never really follows the rules. He never really wants to be underneath anybody. He wants to be his own boss. He wants to be his own leader, and he's a very, like I said, a loose cannon. And Matt Damon is a ex-driver. He used to drive race cars. You know, something happened and he couldn't drive anymore, and so he's kind of living vicariously through Christian Bale's character. And he's the one pretty much trying to set this up together because Ford wants to beat Ferrari in the Le Mans race in France, and so he recruits Christian Bale, and they're all in it to beat Ferrari in this race. Now, to get this right out of the way, I loved the performances in this movie. Christian Bale, in particular, was incredible. He's one of those actors that really does transform into the role that he is given. Like, you know, he played Dick Cheney in Vice last year, and now he's in this role, and he's a lot skinnier, and he has this hunch, and he walks funny, and he has this... Obviously, he has his British accent, which we don't get to see Christian Bale with his British accent much. And he really does transform into his role. I don't really see Christian Bale. I don't see Bruce Wayne in this movie whatsoever. He really just takes any role he's given, like American Psycho, and he makes it his own. He makes it a full character. He, like, quirks and all. He is fascinating to watch in this movie. And I saw somebody tweet when this movie was first premiered in a film festival like a month ago that every single moment that Christian Bale is on screen could be a GIF. And I 100% agree because he is hilarious in this movie. He's fantastic. All the different weird things that he says when he's driving the car, when he's racing, and he just kind of talks to himself and he has conversations with the other drivers even though they can't hear him. So he's really just kind of insane, and he is fantastic in this movie. And Matt Damon is very solid in this movie as well. He is a kind of a mixed actor. He can be great. Obviously, Good Will Hunting, he is fantastic in that movie. And The Martian, he is great in that movie. But he was also in The Great Wall, which is an very odd choice, but you know, sometimes he can really shine. In this movie, I thought he was good. I didn't think he was great. I thought he was very good for the role. I see why they cast him, but I think my issues with his character really lied in the actual writing and the fact that he didn't really have a full character arc, although I did love the aspect where he was living vicariously through Christian Bale's character because his character had a complete full transformation. His arc, like I said, he's a loose cannon at the beginning, and the transformation that he goes through by the end of the movie is very, very heartfelt. He's really the heart and soul of the movie. Him and his wife and his son is definitely the main focus of this movie. And this movie is based on the true story of Ken Miles, who is Christian Bale's character, and his wife, Caitriona Balfe, who is MOLLIE Miles, and their son, Noah Jupe, who plays Peter Miles. And I think, like I said, this family is the heart and soul of the movie. And there's one scene where Bale and Balfe are in the car, and she's driving, and it's a fantastic scene. I loved this scene. And, you know, the friend that hated the movie was making fun of it, and I thought it was very painful to listen to make fun of it because it's such a good scene, and the argument they're having, and you really root for Christian Bale's character because you know his motivations. You know that he just really wants to race. He likes the thrill. He loves, like they talk about, when he hit that 7,000 RPM and you hit that beat and you're going that fast and the world kind of slows down for you and you just take that moment in and you absorb it, and he loves the thrill of racing, and you know you really want to root for him. So when he's going into these races and he's driving as fast as he can and he's trying to go and the car is just not working or something's go wrong or his door won't shut in one of the scenes, it's very, you are you're so badly rooting for this guy to win because, you know, he's such a great character and you want him to succeed in every aspect of his life. And some of the greatest moments in this movie were those small moments, like the scene in the car, or like any scene with Christian Bale and Noah Jupe when they're just like, you know, having conversations. The father and son relationship I thought was the heart of this movie, and I thought it was fantastic. And all those moments where either Bale and Damon are talking together, any of these small scenes that are character based, I thought was fantastic. But this movie is, of course, not perfect like all movies, and I think my biggest issue with the movie is the fact that this movie is called Ford versus Ferrari, because it's not really about that. It's really about this guy and his friend and trying to, you know, live through these races and the thrills of it and the family aspect of it and the character arcs. I thought that was the point of this movie. But obviously you have to market this movie with that title, Ford versus Ferrari, and the aspects of the movie where it was more about the large corporations like the Ford and the Ferrari aspect. Like, Ferrari's not too big of a thing in this movie, a lot less than you would think, obviously with that title. And whenever they're really dealing with the big corporations with Jon Bernthal's character and a bunch of other these characters, I didn't enjoy it as much. Josh Lucas plays Leo BEEBE, and he is the most punchable character I've seen in a movie all year. You just want to punch him in the face, and he's part of this corporation aspect, and he's very annoying, and he's very just, you know, he's meant to be an unlikable character, but I think they went a little bit too far with him because I really hated him. Like, I hated his guts. He was so irritating in this, but I just want to like strangle him and punch him in the face because his face is very punchable. That's the point I'm trying to get across here. But really, just everything that has to do with that aspect of the movie wasn't really the forefront, and some of the dialogue in this movie is not great, to be honest. The screenplay definitely is not the greatest thing in the world, but I think the performances and the directing by James Mangold is what makes this movie entertaining and thrilling, because like I said, this movie had me at the edge of my seat for a large majority of the movie, because whether it's just like the tense character moments or just the race scenes that is so incredibly directed by Mangold, and the way he films it, it's so just like you're there in the car with them, the camera's flying past them, flying with the cars, and it's so good and it's so well filmed. There never for a second did I doubt that they were actually filming on location with cars driving that fast, which they probably weren't, but like, it was that convincing. The race scenes in this movie are incredible, especially the Daytona race and then the end race at the Le Mans was incredible. I loved these sequences. Even the scenes where Bale is just testing out the car and they're working out the thing, and the montage scenes. This is a very well directed movie. So those are my thoughts on Ford versus Ferrari. Like I said, the whole Ford versus Ferrari like corporate storylines was the stuff that I wasn't a big fan of, but all the character stuff and the performances and especially the directing is stuff that I absolutely loved about this movie, that made it a solid, you know, really enjoyed. I really like this movie. I thought it was a great time at the movies, so definitely go check this one out, especially if you know what you're getting into. It is a long movie. It's 2.5 hours. It's a long watch, so, you know, sit down, settle down, and watch this long character study of these two characters that I think is just really fun. So thanks guys for watching this review. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment below what you thought of Ford versus Ferrari, and I hope to see you guys all in my next review.